Okay. All right, I'm going to record. That way we can post it later in the page. Now, that way if you didn't make it, you can watch it later. I'm Kelly Smith, Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, and this is just a little kind of housekeeping and leadership training call or Zoom. I just want to kind of go over some things about being a leader.
Drink something.
Hey, can you guys mute yourselves for me too? If you haven't muted yourself, make sure you mute yourself. Sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to go over some of the things that I do with my leaders, my lower leaders, my first 3 levels, and how you guys should be training your levels 1s, 2s, and 3s. Really everybody, but your main focus is your first few levels. And when you get them to silver and when you help them get to gold, they're going to be building teams. So some of you might not know what to do with the team once you have the team. I really had no idea what I was doing when I first hit Emerald, and it was a huge adjustment for me because I wasn't someone who had ever really done network marketing. I didn't know how to manage a bunch of people, and there is a lot to it. There's a lot of things that you have to do. So personal growth and development in this business is huge, and knowing what to do with your team and knowing what to expect from your team and knowing what your team should expect from you is pretty important. So a lot of you are gold or above. Some of you are silver. Some of you are just starting, and that's okay. We're just going to kind of walk through a few things. As a leader, we have, when we sign as an ambassador, we have a policy and procedure. We have an ambassador contract. And if you haven't read those, I highly advise you to read those. It's very easy reading. It's not very long, but it kind of just states what your responsibility is as a leader in the company, as an ambassador, and then the policies and procedures of the company, what they expect from us, what they offer us, and things of that nature. When you get to silver, you have 3 people underneath you, and that's the beginning of your organization. That's the first step of building your organization, and that's an exciting, fun step when you have your first 3 people. So 3 people is super doable, right? We're like, okay, at 3 people, I can manage 3 people. I can figure out how to maintain 3 people, no big deal. But then that rapidly grows, and so you have 9 people and 18 people and 25 people and all these people that are adding to your team, and all of a sudden you're gold and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I doing with all of these people? So I think it's really important that we set up some type of structure for when you turn gold. Because silver, you've got 3 people, you're still kind of underneath your sponsor's wing. They're kind of helping you and training your new people and helping you get organized. But when you get to gold, there's some things that y'all should be starting to do, and I want to kind of talk about some of those things. I always think it's important to know what is expected of you or know what to expect when you're in a situation. It just makes it easier. When you get to gold, I want you guys to start creating your own team page. Just like the one I have, you would add all of your ambassadors to it. You can add me to it or your sponsors to it, your direct upline. But by gold, you guys should have your own team page. You guys should have all of your downline in that team page, and you should start uploading files that are important to you, our training guide, some of the things that you'll find in my team page. You guys need to duplicate that and give that to your team. That way they have a solid place to go and ask questions. They have a team page where you are going to be posting anything that's important that I'm going to pass down to you or your other uplines are going to pass down to you. And it's a place where you can start growing as a leader. You can start encouraging your teams one-on-one. You can start doing shout outs for PV. You can start doing shout outs for new ambassadors. It just kind of gets you in the swing of things and gets you excited, and it also gets your team excited, and it's on a much smaller scale than, let's say, my page when there's hundreds of people on it. So by gold, you guys should be doing your own team page. You don't have to remove them from our page, my page, or your sponsor's page or whatnot. You can always add them to those pages, but you do need to have your own by the time that you're gold. I would like you also to start doing your own team call. It sounds like a lot, but it doesn't have to be, every week. You can do it every other week, or, once a month if you're super busy when you first get started. But I think it's important that you keep your little team, and they learn to come to you as a leader, and you're developing them to be leaders. So you're kind of showing them what to do, and they're going to duplicate that also when they reach goals. Team calls are important because it brings everybody together to go over new things in the company, troubleshoot, get new information, kind of just be encouraged for their week, and just kind of double check each other. Can you guys still hear me? You guys there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, my internet says it's unstable. I apologize. So doing your team calls is important, and it also solidifies you as a leader. It shows your downline that you're investing in them and that they're important to you. So not only is your sponsor doing it, you're doing it also. Stick my phone on vibrate. So as you move into gold, you're going to create your own team page. You're going to start doing a call. Maybe you start out once a month, and then you start out, once a week. You also need to start doing meetings with your ambassadors. I think it's really important that as a leader, we're there for our downlines. We make ourselves available. We're talking to them in some form at least a couple days a week, especially when they're new, because we want to make sure they're doing good with products. We want to be making sure they're getting to silver. We want to make sure we're answering any questions. We want to make sure that they know we are available to them as a leader. If people don't feel like they have a leader or someone they can go to troubleshoot or talk or be encouraged, they get discouraged. They get, they misunderstand things, or maybe they get discouraged, and so they stop sharing about Plexus because they don't feel like they have support. So if you have your own team page, it's just another way that your downline has communication with you, and on a much more personal scale. So I think that's really important that we're doing that. I can't stress enough to you that what you do in your daily activity, your team will mimic. So if you're not on the team calls, you probably will not have success with team calls. If you're not getting on these Zoom meetings, your team probably won't get on the Zoom meetings. If you're not having a sip and see or a opportunity meeting at your house or at a venue, if you're not doing some type of opportunity, then they will not do it, because they're not watching you do anything, so they have nothing to kind of duplicate. So as a leader, I think it's really important that we do daily activities, and we're training our downlines to do daily activities. Being a leader in the company isn't easy. Some people are not naturally born leaders, or they're not, they don't feel like a boss type of thing. They don't want to feel like a boss. They say, well, I don't know, I can't make my team do anything. I'm not really sure what to do. I talk to them, or I post on my team page, but no one's active. No one says anything. Guys, pick up the telephone. Pick up your phone and call them on the phone. Don't message them on Facebook. Don't text them. Don't post something in group. Call your ambassadors and talk to them and say, hey, how are you doing with your products? Hey, how are you doing with your sales? Hey, I haven't seen you sign a new ambassador, in the last week or two. Is there something I can help you with? Are you working on your list? If they're not getting into three-way chats with you, call them up and say, hey, you're not getting into three-ways. Have you done your list? Are you working the steps? It's not about being a boss, but it's about guiding them and showing them how to run this business, because we have to know what to do. And sometimes we have the information, but we're not implementing the information. So I can give someone all the information they need, but if they don't feel supported, or maybe I'm not checking on them enough, or kind of pushing them and giving that time frame and saying, okay, you're in your first 30 days. I'm going to give you a few examples. When you sign a new ambassador, in your first week, you should get them on the phone call with me in the first day, or you should get them on the phone with your sponsor, introduce them to their uplines, let their uplines, introduce themselves and let them know that they're here for them. and you need to make sure they're working on their list. So you're going to ask them and say, hey, I want you to do this list. So I'm going to give you the next day or two to start your list, and I'm going to call you, and I'm going to, get with you and find out how many people you have down on that list. That's following up. Not only do we have to follow up with our customers, guys, we have to follow up with our ambassadors. We have to get our new ambassadors trained and going in this business if we want to rank up and promote. If we want a successful organization and we want to have successful ambassadors, we have to do the work and put the work in. So in the first few days, you need to find out if they've started their list. You want to find out what their why is, what their goals are. Why did they start Plexus? Is it just for product use? Is it for wholesale? Is it because they need to make $500 a month? Is it because they want to be a jewel? Find out and ask what their goals are. That's part of being a leader, and that's part of your responsibility as their sponsor. We have to be more involved in our ambassadors' growth and development, because if we're not, they won't grow and develop. Does that make sense? So getting with them in a conversation, not just a phone call, not just tagging them all in a Facebook post or tagging them on the team page, because that's impersonal. That's great to do it. Still tag them so they see stuff in the team page. But when we're talking about growing and developing someone into a silver or into a gold, we want to take the time and invest in them. So get them on the phone, show them that you care. Make sure that they're doing what you're asking them to do. Make sure they've printed the training guide out. Ask them to start their list and ask them to show it to you. Like I said, it's not wrong of you to expect them to have activity. A lot of you guys are struggling and saying, okay, I have these people, I signed so-and-so and so-and-so, but they're not doing anything. Figure out why they're not doing anything. Get on the phone with them and confront them and say, hey, you signed up for Plexus. You said you wanted to be an ambassador. So I want to know what's holding you back. Be real, be honest. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not a negative thing. It's not, you're not bothering them. Bottom line is they did sign up to be an ambassador. They said they wanted to work the business at some point. So why aren't they working the business? We need to be asking them as their sponsor or their leader. We need to be going to them and saying, hey, you spent your $35, you signed up, so what are you doing? Let's get this going. Let's get your list started. Let's get you into 3-ways. And if they say, well, I don't really know anybody, we all know that's not true. Everybody knows people. There's tons of people on Facebook. There's tons of people in our lives, in our community. So sit down with that person when they say, I don't know anybody, and say, okay, how many people do you have on your Facebook? If they say, I only have 200 people on my Facebook, great. That's 200 people we're going to market to in the next couple of weeks. If they say, I want to have a testimony first. I just started the products and I don't want to have anything to say, so I'm just not going to say anything until I have a testimony. Wrong answer. We don't want to wait until we have a testimony, because we're missing out on income. We're missing out on growing a team. We're missing out on helping someone else get well. We're missing out on someone's life being changed because we don't have a personal testimony. Don't do that, and don't allow them to do that. Explain to them, hey, it's okay. It's okay if you're a new ambassador that doesn't have a huge testimony. Talk about every little thing in your journey. Talk about how excited you are to watch your upline's journey or your sideline friend's journey. Post about other people on our team. You don't have to post about strangers if you're not comfortable, but post about people on our team. Tell your ambassadors not to wait until they have their own testimony. Tell them you want them to have people following them on this journey, with them on this journey as they build their testimony. And they can use other people's testimony and still work on their testimony for products, okay? So don't let anybody use that as an excuse. If someone says, I don't know, I don't have time. I got kids, I have a job, I have this and that. Say, that's fine. Tell them you understand that they have a busy life. I have a busy life. I have 5 children. I have a grandson. I have a husband who's in a wheelchair. I have lots of things going on. Sometimes I don't get to really income producing activity until 12 o'clock at night. I'll be honest. Sometimes I have to go all day long and do a few little things here and there. And then when I put the kids to bed, when I've gotten my husband settled down to watch TV, that's my IPA time. That's my income producing activity time. So I might not be able to do it until midnight, but that's okay because I got my hour of income producing activity. So just explain to them, if time is a concern, Do it when you can. Take 15 minutes at lunch and post about Plexus. Post a testimony. Send a couple emails on your lunch break or right before you go to bed, or get up an hour early and just work your Plexus business for a little while. Explain to them that the more time and effort that they put into the business, the more progress, results, and financial benefit they're going to get. If someone says, I signed up for the $35, I haven't bought a welcome pack because I don't have any money. Okay, if they don't have any money, then they should be doing this hardcore more than anybody else, because if their financial situation sucks, then hello, we have the answer. So Plexus is the answer to financial struggle. Okay, so that is a no-brainer. I get people that say that all the time. I want to do this, but I don't have any money. Great, you're the perfect candidate to do this. I want you to do this because I can help you change your financial situation. So if someone says, I just signed up for the $35, I don't have money to buy a welcome pack, I'm posting on Facebook, but no one's buying from me. Okay, so they don't have money for a welcome pack. Understandable, some people don't. So they need to get a customer or two, so next month they'll have the money to buy their welcome pack. If they get just a few customers, just a couple, it doesn't take a lot, or they get to silver and get that silver bonus, guess what? They've just covered their welcome pack for the next month. So tell them about it. Say, okay, you don't have any money, understandable. Then bust your butt, get on Facebook, get on Instagram, get on Pinterest, get on your email, get on the phone, and find 3 running buddies to join you on this journey. And next month, you'll get $100 and you can pay for your welcome pack. And you can start your journey with this product. You guys, we have an answer to everything. We really do. Plexus is such a blessing, and it gives us so much that we can really combat anything that comes up in our direction. The thing is, we have to talk to our ambassadors. We have to talk to our teams. We have to sit down, be real, and be in communication with our team. And when I say communication, I don't mean posting on Facebook, tagging them in it. I don't mean just the team page. I mean picking up your phone and investing in the people that you've had join your team, okay? It's important that we have communication with our downline. If we're not communicating daily, weekly, they're probably not going to have a great progress. They're probably not going to be super excited, and they're probably not going to continue to sign people. That's just reality. If we build relationships in our organization, if we help people get to silver, if we put time and energy into our ambassadors, it will pay off. I have a group chat every single day. I have leaders that are on my team that I talk to every single day, multiple times a day. That's not saying that everyone has to do it that way, but I know sometimes I will get a random text, and believe me, we blow each other's phones up a lot. But we've learned to mute it, or we say, okay, I'm going this way. If I don't answer you guys for a while, that's what I'll read up and catch up later. We are in constant communication with each other, and you want to know why? Because they're my strongest leaders. I know their heart is 100% Plexus, and I know that they've struggled and they have concerns, or they want to troubleshoot some things and they have questions. So guess what? They know that we're in a text message. So if I don't answer, one of our sideline leaders will answer. If they have a question and I'm not there, or maybe they're out and about in the field and they're trying to sign a new ambassador, we have that open communication text constantly where they can say, hey, Kelly, can I use it? What's the coupon code again? Or what was that thing in the comp plan that said this or that? For me, it works. It works really well. We're friends, so it's a little bit different, but some of us weren't friends before Plexus. So it's not that they were just my friends. These are leaders on my team that I know are 100% pro Plexus. They're 100% committed in growing their team. So we have a group text every single day, and we're in constant communication with each other. I want to know what they're doing. I want to know what their goals are. I want to know what they're struggling with, and I want to know when they're excited. I want to know when they're upset. I want to know when I can help them, and that is what works for me. So I don't do that with every single person in my downline, clearly, but my solid leaders that I know are growing and building, we have constant communication every single day. And I highly recommend that you guys doing that early on in your in your journey and when you're building an organization. Because if I don't talk to them, this is the thing. If I don't see them texting me in the group page, I know something's up. If I don't hear from them or they're not talking to me daily in the text message, I know something's up. So I'm going to say, okay, what's going on? Where are you guys at? Where's your head at? Are you struggling with something? Tell me what's going on. It's an easy way for us to keep in contact. And for me as a leader, they're on my team. They're building legs for me. So I want to make sure that I'm there for them when they need it. The other people that I have on my team, my other levels 1 through 3. If I'm not on Facebook, in my team page, I'm either calling them or I'm private messaging them. Hey, how's your week going? How are you doing? How's your PV? Do you have any questions? Do you have any concerns? I want to know if you're struggling. I want to know why they haven't signed anybody in the last 2 months. Is it something I can help them with? Is it that they're not getting into 3-ways? Is it that they feel struggle in their own product use, so they're losing a little bit of their belief? Whatever it is, as a leader in this company and as the sponsor in my organization, I have to go to them and talk to them. So I want you guys to start doing this. If you're not doing, I don't care if you're silver, I don't care if you're having 1 ambassador, make sure that you're talking to those ambassadors very often, if not daily, at least weekly. Making sure they're setting goals, knowing and understanding what their goals are, and being able to help them reach those goals. I cannot tell you how many people have reached up to me from all the way down to my level 12. I have people on a daily basis message me and say, hey, I'm in your downline, I'm in so-and-so. I might not even recognize the name of their upline. I'm really struggling. That particular person isn't really active in Plexus, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I feel like I don't have anywhere to go, blah, blah, blah. It happens, guys, but we have a responsibility to be a leader. When we sign up to be an ambassador, we said in that ambassadorship that we will teach and train our downline. So it's part of our responsibility to teach and train your downline. If you're not getting where you want to be, if you're not seeing success with your specific sponsor, if they're not active in Plexus or you feel like they're not really giving you what you need, reach up past the sponsor. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with reaching out past your sponsor. That's what you should do. If you've gotten nowhere with your sponsor, if they just don't have time or they're just not vetted in Plexus or they're just not feeding you and getting you to where you need to be, reach up to someone else. I don't care who it is. Reach all the way up to me if you need to, but make sure you're reaching out. Same goes for down. If you have an ambassador and they have a team and you see that they're not really active, they're not really teaching and training their downline, you need to go to that sponsor and say, hey, what's your downline doing? How are they doing? Are you struggling? Are you struggling as a leader? What can I do to help you? And if you're not really figuring that out, reach down and ask their downline. Send a message and say, hey, you're on my team somewhere. I see that, you're struggling, or if you're struggling, I'm here for you. If you want to have a meeting, I will help you. Reach down into your downline. Reach past and up. It's really important that the lines of communication are open. The training is your responsibility. Offering the training, presenting the training. So if you present the training to your team, if you're giving them the training guide, if you're talking to them about the training guide and the information, if you're getting them to work through their business builder that they get with their welcome pack, if you're doing all of those things and you're checking in with them and you're writing them on Facebook, you're calling them on the phone, and you're not getting any response, or you're like not really getting a great response, guess what? Love and release it. Love and release them and move on to someone else, because you will beat yourself and you will exhaust yourself with people that don't have the same belief that you do. You will exhaust yourself. You will get frustrated with people that you have to drag by the belt loop. You don't want to drag people by the belt loop. If they don't want this, then love and release. So you need to work on the 80% of the people that do want it and love and release the 20 that don't. You can't keep continuing to beat a dead horse. It's just not worth it. Celeste Gwynn taught me that a long time ago. Several, probably up to a year ago, we had a conversation, and I was really frustrated because I was just killing myself, pulling people along. I felt like I was constantly begging and pleading people to work their business, to get on a team call, to have a meeting, to show up or bring a guest to a meeting. I was so frustrated. And she said, why? She's like, let it go. She's like, why are you begging them? Why are you killing yourself if they don't even want it? And I really never thought of it that way. I thought, well, I figured I could make them want it. I figured I could just, keep talking to them and keep dragging them and keep begging and pleading, and they would finally get it. And she said, no, you can't do that. She said, you tell them, see ya. If you don't want to do this, if you're not ready to work this business, well, guess what? I still like you as a person. I'm not going to spend any more time and energy on you if you have no interest. When you do, let me know and I'll be here for you. I watched several of you in your team pages beating dead horses. Okay, I see you frustrated. I see you mad. I see you disappointed. And you need to stop. I'm just going to be really frank. You need to love and release and go find someone else that will join you and build belief with you and build an organization with you, because some of the people you have right now are not those people. I know it's upsetting. I know it's frustrating, and I know that you want it so bad for them, but guess what? We cannot want it enough for somebody. They have to want it enough for themselves. And I have had to do that. I have had friends. I have had leaders. I have had people that I really thought were going to do fantastic with this. And I have watched them sit and do absolutely nothing. So it is frustrating, and it is hard because you want it for everybody. But at some point, you have to say, okay, I've given you 100% of myself as a leader. I've given you all this information. I've put everything on your plate. And I've given you it with a spoon to eat it with. And you're not doing it. You obviously aren't ready yet. So I'm going to love and release you. And when you are ready, I will be here and I will give you 100%. You let me know. You let me know when you're ready. And then that's it. You let them go, and if they go inactive, they go inactive. Stop beating yourself up over it and stop wasting your time. You guys, there's so much time being wasted with people that are right in the back office or 90 PVers every single month. Let it go. Go find someone else that's going to rock this business, going to use the products, that's not going to be a whiner or a complainer, that's not going to be complacent, because there are people out there desperate for what we have. There are 100,000 moms that don't want to go to work every day because they don't want to leave their baby. There's tons of dads that don't want to take that second job because they're going to be gone every weekend. Okay, there's tons and tons of people that want to make more money and would die to be able to do it from home. You just have to go find those people. But there are those people out there. And what I want for y'all and myself is to stop twisting yourself into knots and being frustrated, and love and release it and go find people that want to work the business. I know it's hard, but you guys have to do it. I have to do it. Everybody has to do it in this company. All the other Joels have it. It's the same thing company-wide. But I'm seeing it on my team specifically right now that my leaders that I respect and that give 100% all the time, every day, getting taken advantage of, getting used, and I don't like it. So I'm really wanting people to take what's the right word? Match your effort. I want you to tell your team, you'll give them 1,000% as long as they give you 1,000%. That you will match their effort. Whatever they need, you're going to be there. But you're not going to drag them. You're not going to have to tag them 100 times in something and they still don't read it. You're not going to beg and plead for them to get on a team call. Guys, we have a team call every single week. If someone can't manage in a month to get on one team call in a month, they don't want this. They don't want this opportunity. I have a Zoom meeting probably 2 or 3 times a week, okay? If you're telling me that you can't find an hour in a month to get on one Zoom meeting when there's 2, 3, 4 in a week, you don't want this opportunity. You're not ready for this opportunity. So with that being said, I want you guys to think and move into September with the thoughts that you are loving and releasing the team that you have that are not working their business. And you're going to focus on going out in September and finding people that are going to join you, lock arms with you, and be 100% all in just like you are. And I know that you know, it's frustrating and sad and upsetting, but how excited are you going to be when you find that one or two people that start this business and have the same passion that you have? It's going to be like a weight is off your shoulders when you're not begging and pleading those people that aren't working this business to be on a team call or be on a Zoom or read the training guide or get involved or post on Facebook. Some people just aren't ready for this. Some people think they are, but they're not. But when they are, or when you find the person that is ready, you are going to see success. And it's going to be so much easier for you to be duplicatable, to be positive, to feed on that energy when you're not beating yourself and dragging dead weight, okay? And we just have to start doing it. We just have to get into a new mindset that says, okay, I'm done doing the old things that I've done because guess what? I've been gold for a year, so something's not working. Or I'm tired of, you know, killing myself. I'm doing all these self-development books. I'm going to the trainings. I'm reading. I'm doing a team call, and none of my team is getting on board. Stop. Just don't worry about it anymore. Go find people that want what you want. Go find someone that is going to join your team and be as excited about Plexus and this opportunity as you are. I promise you that there are people out there, and if it takes us as a team, if it takes me another year to make that hire because I have to stop killing myself for people not working the business, I'm totally cool with that. Totally fine with that, because I know I had such an amazing ride to Emerald. I found people that linked arms with me that said, you know what, this is amazing. I'm so excited about this. And they went right up to the top with me, and they're still here. They're still working their business. They're still excited. So I know it can be done. So the people that I've been dragging around, because I do it too, the people that I've been killing myself over, having to constantly call, you know, how can we get you to 100 PV? You're at 90 every month. Like, are you serious about the business? Do you want to work the business? It's every book. So no more. It's time to say, okay, I'm ready to get out there. I'm ready to find people that want to work the business. I'm going to teach and train and give them 100%. You have to be a leader. You know, you have to do the things that a leader does. You have to make sure you're training your team. You have to make sure you're giving them the time, getting on the phone call with them. But I know the majority of you are. I'm sure there's some people that aren't doing those things, and that's another, that's kind of what I talked about at the beginning, is learning to do what you need to do that your team needs and duplicating so your team can duplicate. But if you're doing all of those things and no one's moving, it's time to do something different. It's time to find different people. Because if you sit frustrated for too long, it's not good. And then your team is going to fall apart because you're falling apart and your attitude sucks and your belief is crumbling because you're frustrated and you think, okay, I just can't do this. No one's doing anything. Change your mindset. Change your mindset. Say, okay, if they don't want to do it, so be it. I'm going to love and release them and go find someone else that will. Some people, I did it for a really long time, sit for too long, hoping that things will be different instead of making them different. And I can promise you from experience, sitting and hoping that things are going to be different, things are not going to be different. You have to start with you, and you have to be different. You have to do things differently, and if it means starting your entire team over again, if it means going out and finding an entire new 3 people to start 3 new legs to get that excitement and to get that growth, then that's what you need to go do. I promise you, you will love to do it. It'll be, go. Dog's pushing my computer. It'll give you a new excitement. It'll give you a new growth. It'll give you new belief in the company. And it's just going to make your whole attitude, your whole demeanor, your whole team move into a different direction. And I feel like A lot of y'all have been sitting for a really long time and you're very frustrated and you're doing all the right things. So that tells me that you don't have the right people, that you don't have people that are linking arms with you that have the same passion and goals that you do. So instead of sitting still anymore and hoping and praying and wishing that your team takes off, please go find other people that will. Please don't lose your excitement for Plexus. Please don't lose your excitement for network marketing. Please don't allow that to crumble your belief in what we have, because we have everything we think we have. We have everything on our fingertips. We have gold. We have amazing compensation plan. We have amazing products. So we just have to find the right people. That's really what it boils down to. The teams in Plexus right now that are building and moving on massive growth, because we all know, we all sit and watch them every month, and there are teams promoting and all these jewels coming out from Celeste Gwen and all these other people that are running to diamond in like a year. They're not sitting and dragging people. They are going out constantly and they're signing level 1. I want you to know something. Majority of the people that just promoted in the last year that are all jewels have over 100 level 1s. Over 100 level 1s. They have personally gone out and signed over 100 people. That right there is crazy, okay? But that tells me that they don't sit and drag anyone. If they don't work the business, they go find 5 people that will. They're not wasting time. They're not sitting around wasting time begging and pleading people to work. They're going to find 5 more people that they can sign as level 1 that will build them legs. That's what we need to do. We need to start growing wide in our teams and continuously signing level 1s that want to work the business. I want to be a diamond. That's the goal. My goal is to be diamond and eventually re-enter the company and do it all over again. That's what I want to do. So I know I have to continuously sign level 1s, because if I don't, I'm going to have that same problem. You can only grow so much if you're not continuing to grow wide. And if you're not signing new people and getting new excitement and getting people that are like-minded, you are going to sit still and stagnant and be in a rut. So the people that are promoting to diamond in a year, I have sat and talked with in depth. I have had deep conversation. I have picked their brain. We have talked about everything under the sun. And they're not doing anything differently except for not dragging anyone behind. They're not training differently. They're not doing any kind of secret magic formula. They don't have some magic secret process. They're doing everything that we're doing on a whole, but what they're not doing is they're not sitting around and begging and pleading their teams to work their business. They're going out hustling and finding more people that will. So I want that for us too. I want y'all to start. September is right around the corner. We're just about to wrap up August, and PV is fantastic. A lot of people have increased their PV, which is awesome. I'm so proud of y'all for that, because I know sometimes that's a struggle in the summer months. Everything's slow. People are working and, getting back into school. So that's great. But my desire for y'all as leaders, and several of you, I'm looking at you right now and you know exactly who I'm talking to. It's time to move out from where you are. It is time to say, I'm done with being complacent. I'm done with dragging and pulling. I'm done with being frustrated. I'm going to go out and I'm going to sign new people. I'm going to get my excitement back. I'm going to get back doing meetings. I'm going to get back. We're going to spend the whole Saturday flying around our town, and we're going to find the people that we can link arms with and that we can do this, rock this business together. So start thinking about that. Pray about it if you have to. Make a phone call, get on the phone with every single one of your level 1s. If you have 10 or if you have 2, I don't care. Get on the phone with them and say, look, I'm ready to promote. I am ready to make a huge growth in my business. I want this, and I want you to be on this journey with me. How can I help you? What can we do? reach out to them and say, I want this. Do you want this? Are you ready to rock this with me? What's your commitment level? And ask for them to be honest. Say, it's okay. I'm not going to be angry with you. I'm not going to be mad. If you don't want this, that's, your decision. I hope you do, because it's such a huge opportunity to let go of. But ask them to be honest and tell you what their commitment level is. And then move on from there. You need to know where you stand in your organization. You need to know where your level ones are, your level twos, your level threes. You really need to know where they stand and what their commitment level is, because if they're not committed, now you know. Now you say, okay, she's not on the board 100%. She's not really wanting to do this. So I'm going to go find someone who is. I'm going to, love her as a friend. I'm going to love her as a team member. And I'm happy that she's, comfortable at $500 a month, or she's comfortable making $100 a month, or whatever it is. You're going to love and release her, and then you're going to go find someone else that wants to work the business. So I want you to go through your team, and I want you to get into a one-on-one, not a Facebook message, not a email. Call them on the phone and say, hey, you're my level 1, or you're my level 2 or 3. And I say 2s or 3s because sometimes, I might have actually signed my level 2. Maybe I put them under my husband or my daughter. Maybe you did the same thing, or maybe you put them under a friend or whatever. So usually your first 3 levels are pretty close to you, and you know them, or you've been working with them, so you know where they stand as far as on a personal level. So get with them and find out what their commitment level is. And if they're committed, if they say, yes, I totally want this, I'm ready to do this, I'm ready to rock the business, then you're going to tell them, awesome. And you're going to get them to commit. Say, okay, this is what we're doing. Sunday nights, we're getting into a Facebook chat, or we're getting on the phone, and we're going to set goals. That's what we're going to do. We're going to sit down. We're going to set goals for the week. We're going to set goals for the month. And we're going to check in with each other. We're going to, even if it's a group text or a group Facebook message, we're going to check in with each other and make sure we're holding each other accountable to, get into 3 ways, write our list, spend an hour of our IPAs, whatever it is. You're going to get more one-on-one with your first 3 levels. And if you're sitting here and you're like, well, this is totally doesn't have anything to do with me because I don't have a team. Oh yes, it does, because you're going to get a team. You need to have a mindset right now to know exactly who you want to target. Who do you want on your team? You know who you want on your team. 9 times out of 10, we have a whole list of people in our heads right now that say, oh my gosh, Sarah, Kim, Dana, whatever. Oh, they would be so good at this. I know they're so outgoing. I know they would love to do this. So get with them and say, hey, I want a running buddy. I want someone to rock this business with me. I want to be best friends that are Jules, and driving Lexuses together and going on vacations together. Will you do this with me? Will you commit 100%? And get someone who is committed. Start marketing people and talking to people that want to work the business, that want to join you and want to make more money, want to go on vacations and drive a Lexus and have better health, and are looking for something that you're looking for. You want like-minded people on your team. You don't want someone who can't, I'm going to be frank, you don't want someone who can't pay the $35. Let's just be honest. If you have someone that is bitching and complaining because they have to pay $35, I'm sorry guys, but that's not the person you want to target for getting on your team. It doesn't make them a bad person at all. Absolutely not. And there's some people that is the exception to the rule. But the majority of time, and Sonia Dudley and Helen McFadden taught me this, and they hold true to it today. I mean, they remind me all the time. If you have someone that isn't willing to spend $100 a month in this business, then they're probably not someone you want to have on your team, period. Because they know if they're not willing to invest $100 into a business that's going to make you $10,000 a month in a year, they're not serious. And, some people, like I said, there's an exception to that rule, on very small occasion that someone can change and be a huge go-getter and can, make money when they don't have money. But 9 times out of 10, if someone will not commit to spending $100 a month and investing that into their own business, they're probably not someone you want to have on your team. Strictly because they're not gonna qualify. They're probably not going to, go out and buy sample packs and spend that extra $100 to get new customers. So they're not going to be like 100% in the business. So Helen and Sonia said, find people that will say, I'm going to commit to you my time. I'm going to commit that I'm going to spend $100 a month. Even if they don't, let's say they never have to. Let's say they have, maybe they buy their product. Maybe they're only an X Factor taker. They're perfectly healthy. They're super fit. They're, in great shape, whatever. Let's say they just use the X Factor and the probiotics. So they only spend $50 a month. Great. But they're going to go out and they're going to get customers. They're going to build a team. So they're going to be beneficial to you to put on your team. But if you have someone that balks at $34.95, that is absolutely insane to me, number one, because where can you start your own business for $35? Nowhere. And spending $100 a month for a year, okay, if you are 100% all in, you could be a diamond in a year. Or let's say you could be emerald in a year, making over $100,000 a year. $100, guys, is not a lot of investment. You can write it off. I mean, really, the mindset here has to be, I'm looking for people who are committed to work a business, because that's what this is. At the end of the day, we are growing our organization because we want to make money and we want to have security and freedom for our family. So we have to set our minds to go out and find people that are like-minded and that are willing to do that. That's what it's going to take. So I really, really pray that you are praying about people that you are talking to. Pray for God to bring people into your life that will benefit you and be an awesome ambassador. There's nothing wrong with that. I pray for my team all the time, and I pray for people that I want on my team. I say, okay, God, bring them to me. Bring me someone that needs this opportunity and that will relish this opportunity and work this business, because I want to see their lives blessed. Because I know if you do work this business, if you put in the time, if you put in the effort, if you do the steps, if you work the process, you will be successful. The time frame is up to you. You could do it in a year, you could do it in 5 years, but I promise you, you're going to make more money investing in a 5-year plan with Plexus than you are working at any other job that you could think of. Whatever your job is, even right now, the opportunity for financial growth and for financial freedom is far better in Plexus than anything that you have right now. That's just the reality of it, because they pay us so well and their comp plan is such an amazing compensation plan. So if you don't have a team, don't think this isn't for you, because it absolutely surely is. Because I don't want you to be where some of these leaders are in 6 months or a year, and you are frustrated and you're not finding a team that is building the belief in growing like you want to grow. So start now. Start thinking, okay, who on my friends list, who in my life do I know that will commit to this business, commit to spending $100 a month or working for that $100 a month? That's who I want on my team. I don't want someone who is lazy, that's not going to work, that is a whiner, a complainer. I don't want someone who's going to be giving up on the product so they don't work overnight. I'm just being real. It's not about being mean. It's about being smart. We want to work smarter, not harder. We heard that. A lot of people say that. You want to work smarter, not harder. So think about it when you're building a business, because you are building a business. This is something that you can will your Plexus business to your family. If you can pass this on to generations and generations. So I have my business where if anything were to happen to me, my girls are getting my Plexus business. My girls will inherit my business. So you want to build a solid foundation with people that will link up with you and build belief and grow with you. So think about that. Think about that when you're signing new people, and think about that when you bring people into your organization. Be 100% there for your team. Make sure that you are being a leader, getting a team page, getting them into team calls, checking in with them every single day or at least a couple times a week. Having opportunity meetings, having a sip and see at their house, getting into 3-way chats with them, making the communication open and not direct, but direct, straightforward, one-on-one communication over the phone, meet for coffee. I don't care what you do. Just make it personal so your team knows that you're there for them and you want them to be proactive. You want them to move. We don't want 50 people on our team sitting at gold. That's not the idea here. The idea here is to grow and move and rank up and promote together. And I promise you, if you pour into your team, if you train your team, and if you help them get promoted, if your energy is training and getting them all to be excited and build their belief and getting them all to silver, you will in turn promote. You will rank up, and you will rank up faster and easier than if you were to try to do it all on your own and not worry about your team. The beautiful thing about network marketing is that we can love other people, nurture other people, invest in other people, and it benefits us. It's not selfish, that's just the way it works. So the more you nurture, grow, and develop your team, guess what? It's going to benefit you. If you're a solid leader, if you're a hands-on leader, if you're a leader that cares, if you're a leader that wants your team to have success, and I know everybody that I'm looking at right now wants their team to have as much success as you have. I know you do. So if you do, help get your team moving. Get excited, build momentum, get the communication open, get your people to silver, and teach them that's it. You have to do it. This is what we do. We get to silver. We get 3 people. We teach and train them to go get 3 people. Open communication. Stop beating your head if they don't want to work. Let them go if they don't want to work. Love and release them. Say, I love you as a person. Good luck. I hope it works out for you. You know, in the back of your mind, you can think, you are crazy, girl. You've just walked away from, a gold mine. But let it go. And go find another person that's going to come join your team. It's going to rock this business and ride right next to you to Emerald. Right straight to the top to Emerald with you. September is y'all's month. I'm claiming it over you right now. If you have sat at a promotion for the last few months, I am right there with you, okay? I am exactly where you are. I'm just a different rank. I have the same frustrations. I have the same hard times. I have the same feelings and excitement and sadness and, all of those things. I am right there next to you feeling the exact same thing. Okay, so I want you to link up with me, and change. I want us to have a huge momentum. I want us to change our mindset as a team. I want us to change our mindsets as leaders, and I want us to duplicate that to our downlines. I want us to help our downlines hear where we're coming from, know our hearts, and not only I think it's, we talked about this in Jules. I think it's okay and it's necessary to go to our teams when we're going to rank up or we're close to a promotion. It's great to put it out there and say, hey, y'all, I am so close to Ruby and I really need your help. This is something that I really want to do, and I want you to link arms with me, and I want to help you help me, and I want to help you help your downlines so we can all promote. There's nothing wrong with that. But instead of thinking you want to promote, how close you are to your next promotion, I want you to think your first 3 levels. I want you to get your first 3 levels and figure out how close they are to promoting. I want you to sit down and write it out. Okay, I've got Karen, Lance, Jill, Rob, Jennifer. God, they got 1 away from silver. I'm going to get them to silver this month. And guess what? If you get all of them to silver, guess what you've just done? You've just added 50 people to your team, and you've now promoted. You weren't even thinking about getting yourself promoted. That was in the back of your mind. What you were thinking about is getting 5 or 6 people on your team and your downline. You were thinking about getting them promoted. And all of a sudden, at the end of the day, when it's the 28th or 29th of the month, you've now promoted because you bust your butt. You put the effort into your team. You've reached out and loved on your team and supported your team and helped them get to silver. So now you've in turn ranked up yourself. You see how that works? It's time that we change our mindset. It's time that we get excited. It's time that we leave the old behind. It's time that we think to the future about who we want on our team. It's time that we let things go. We release the frustration. We stop putting a timetable on everything. We stop beating dead horses, and we claim success, and we claim our promotion, and we can claim our success over our team and over our downline and over our life. Okay? So I am super excited about September. Somebody asked me yesterday, have you made Sapphire? Have you made Sapphire? And I said, nope. not yet. I was like, when I see my 2 or 3 that I know are right at promotion, my main leaders, when I see them turn senior gold, when I see them hit Ruby and senior Ruby, I will know then that I am close to being a Sapphire. But until then, my goal is to get my leaders promoted. That is my goal right now. Sapphire is in the very back of my mind right now. I've laid it down at his feet, and I said, when it's time, it's time. But my mindset has to change, and I know that I have to stop beating dead horses, and I know that I have to reach into my downline and focus on them getting ranked up. They need to grow. They need to be excited. They need to stop beating dead horses, and they need to get an organization where they have people that are excited and hungry just like they are. And that is where my heart is right now. I want y'all to reach into your downline, get serious, figure out who's with you, who's on the same page with you, and start growing those people. Start investing in those few people and let everything else go. Stop worrying about everybody else and just focus on those people. And when you do, I guarantee you're going to start seeing change in your team. Same with new people. I don't want you to stress about, getting to silver, but I want you to think about, okay, I need 3 people to get to silver. So I want to grow my organization. So who do I want on my team? Kelly was talking about someone who's willing to be excited, willing to link arms with me, willing to spend $100 a month. So in the back of your mind, I want you to bust out your list and pick those 5 people on your list, and I want you to sign those people in September. I want you to say, that's it. I'm claiming it. I want them. They're going to join my team. Speak it over your team. Speak it into existence. Be positive and do everything on the training guide to get them into your organization. Talk to them. Talk to them about Plexus. Invite them to hear the opportunity. Share the opportunity with them. Get them into a 3-way conversation. Follow up with them and then close. That's the goal for September. Out with the old, in with the new. New mindset, new leadership skills, putting the effort as a leader to open the communication, one-on-one communication. So important to be on the phone. I know we all hate it. We're like, oh God, I have to call them on the phone. No one likes to talk on the phone anymore. But there's something about a one-on-one. There's something about reaching out, hearing my voice, hearing the excitement in my voice, hearing me want you to want it so bad, and knowing that I want you to want it. Knowing that I am excited and that I'm going to help you, that I really, really do want you to get to silver. It's going to make a difference in someone if you hear that in their voice or you see the message on Facebook. It really is a difference. So September is our month. I am claiming y'all's promotions, and you know who I'm talking about specifically. There's a lot of you that have been waiting to promote and waiting and waiting and waiting and at that freaking ledge and that cliff for weeks and months, okay? It's happening in September, okay? I see a huge movement from my team in September. We are going to get excited. We're going to open the communication. We're going to stop beating dead horses. We're going to go out and we're going to find people that are going to build belief with us and rise to the top. So if y'all are committed with me, I want you to do a few things. I want you to, if you haven't read The Circle Maker, get it. Get the book. It's called The Circle Maker. It's an amazing book. Just trust me on it. I want you to read the book. So if you have it, Amazon, I think, has it. It's super inexpensive. Get that book. I really, really want you to read The Circle Maker. Second, if you're a praying person, I want you to commit to pray for specifically, I want you to specifically pray for the ambassadors that you have, and for the Lord to bring you ambassadors that want this just like you do, that have a heart and a passion, the same heart and the same passion that you do for this company, that God will bring those people into your life. And I want you to commit to have open communication with your 1s, 2s, and 3s for the next entire month. The month of September, I want you to have open communication with your first 3 levels. Daily, constant, open, honest communication, and figure out who is 100%, and I want you to work with those specific people. If you have 1 or 2 that leaders in your organization that you know they're bringers, they 100% want this, they are committed, I want you to tell those people, those 1 or 2 people that you know that you have in your downline, I want you to have them read The Circle Maker. as well. I want you to encourage it. I want you to say, hey, I want you to read this book. I'm reading it too. Let's read it together and see where that takes us. You can tell them that Kelly, said to read this book, and it's really this awesome book. And ask those people that it could be 1 or 2, it could be 3 or 4, whatever, that you have on your team in your downline that is 100% pro Plexus and ready for this. I want you to recommend the Circle Maker to them. And I want you to trust me on that. So I know you probably are thinking I'm crazy, but just trust me on that. And I really have thought about this. I have prayed about this. I have struggled with really talking about this because I never want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. I know everybody's beliefs are different. But there's something to the law of attraction. There's something to speaking life over your team. I believe that. I believe that when we start claiming things and when we start speaking positive over our teams and over our ambassadors and asking for blessings like bringing people to our organization, those things come to fruition. Those things happen. So I'm really excited about September. I'm very happy with how the summer has gone because usually company-wide summer sucks, to be honest, and it hasn't sucked that bad. It hasn't been huge. We haven't seen huge growth, but we have seen growth. We've had a lot of promotions in my team. We have some coming up sitting this month that we'll still promote, which is very exciting. But for those of you who know you're not promoting this month and it was one more month that you didn't promote, change your mindset tonight. Don't talk about what you haven't done. Don't talk about the frustrations. Let it go tonight and claim September as y'all's month. Y'all's promotion month is September, okay? If you guys have something specific that you want to address in your downline, I had someone today talk to me about something. They want to do a Zoom meeting for their team, specifically just for their team on something that they're dealing with. I'm willing to do that. So if there's something that you say, okay, I would love for Kelly, to get on a Zoom with just my team and go over so-and-so. I will do that. So message me and let me know if that's something you guys want to do. If you're new and you don't have a team, we can do a Zoom meeting with your friends. We can do a Zoom meeting with potentials that can come on. I can talk about the products. I can talk about the business, whatever it is. It's kind of like an opportunity meeting via Zoom. So if that is something you want to do, or you have a new ambassador that, if you have a new ambassador that you think would like to do that, please get with me. I'm very, very willing to do that. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I hope that this was positive for you. I hope someone needed to hear this. I hope that you kind of know where you stand. I hope that if you're gold, you're moving into having your team page, you're starting to think about team calls. I really hope that all the things we talked about tonight resonate and that your mindset will change and that things will begin to move and grow, and your attitude and your belief and your demeanors, all of that will be more positive. So if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask. If you guys have anything to say, if you guys want to say anything, go ahead. If not, we will wrap it up.
Great question. What is the best thing for anxiety?
As far as products?
Yeah.
I would say the Triplex has a lot of testimonies on anxiety and depression and things like that.
Okay. Yeah. The Slim definitely helped with my anxiety too. That was one of the biggest things. So.
Yep.
But
yeah, there's a lot of testimonies for anxiety with the Slim. Yep, and the probiotic. So.
Okay. All right.
Mega X.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. That too.
Yeah, Mega X. I take it at night, so it just helps me sleep. So I don't know if it's improving my mood or not, but it's I love that stuff. It's really exciting because I'm sleeping. It's super cool for me right now. But I have a lot of people in the Jewels talk about how their mood is like enhanced. They feel more calming in these situations. So that's good.
Yeah.
During my high stress time of the day, when I'm
Me too, Lisa.
like, I'm not yelling, yay!
Yay! Be more calm. It's nice to be calm. It's nice to not be like a raving crazy woman.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you guys, that's it. I will let you guys go.
Have a good night.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.